Hello YouTube and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new here. My name is Manda. Some people call me AJ. I'm a Canadian lifetime natural bodybuilder and an online health, fitness, and physique coach.
Number 205, Amanda.
Hello, and welcome to yet another vlog. What are we doing today? We are gonna go train some legs. It's gonna be absolutely brutal. Before we make the trek, we're gonna put together our pre-workout drink. It is currently the ass crack of dawn. I will not lie, I did just chug back a coffee, but we are going to make pre-workout. Our pre-workout stack today, I'm going to do half a scoop of the Pre-HD Black in Lychee. And as I said, we did just chug back a coffee. I'm also going to do a half scoop of the Pre-HD Elite in Tangerine. All right, I have a pretty decent drive to the gym this morning. It's gonna take me just over an hour. It is currently the butt crack of freaking dawn, 8 a.m., which means traffic is going to be nuts. Nonetheless, we do the things that we gotta do to get the things we gotta get done. So let's go and demolish our legs, shall we? Brother, do not ask me how I survived that. That was completely, absolutely, atrociously beautiful. It is so hot here. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna explode. This is a longer training session for me. I don't normally train for more than like an hour and a half, but this Tuesday session is about an hour and 40-ish minutes. Woo. Today we did have to train early because one of my good girlfriends is getting married. I have to be at her house around noon to get my Mindy done. Therefore, we train early so that we can sweat and then shower and then all that good jazz. I'm putting together my post-workout now, which is going to be chocolate cake, elevate cream of rice, caramel brownie, Pro HD protein sledge. Look at her, she's beautiful. I'm gonna put some extra salt on this today. Did get sweaty, which is something that I have experienced the last couple of days, and that is a new thing, and that is because there is updates around my hormones and what's going on with whatever they decide they're doing. For anyone who is a newer subscriber and has not been watching since the beginning, I haven't talked about this in a while, but I have not had a period in about just over 2.5 years. That was until this past Friday. I will tell you guys more about that a little bit later in the video. Now I'm gonna eat and we'll drive home. Hello, good afternoon, happy Wednesday. It is indeed the next day. The rest of yesterday just completely got away from me, so I thought I would come in, we could do some updates, and then I'm thinking tomorrow we'll do full day eating. Would we not do full day of eating? That would be so fun. Also, since you last saw me, I did get some Mindy done for the wedding, and I guess I could do a book update as well. We are reading How to Do the Work by Dr. Nicole LePera. I just finished her book, How to Be the Love You Seek, and funny enough, somebody at my gym saw me reading that book book and brought me this book. So I didn't even buy this. Someone has just lent it to me. So far, so good. We're cracking away on it. Y'all, I just love my like self-help, self-care books. They're so good. Something I've been thinking about a lot lately is why do I enjoy making videos? I think it just comes down to the universal need and want to feel so heard. I am someone who spent their entire childhood being bullied for X, Y, and Z, and I have found myself time and time again in relationships with people, specifically romantic relationships, where the other person just never really seems to listen in an entirety. So what I mean by that is maybe they listen to me when I speak, but they never actually hear me, if that makes sense. It's kind of like the difference between like active and passive listening. I feel like I've ended up in a lot of romantic relationships where people very passively listen to me. They never really actively listen to me. And there's something about my YouTube that makes me feel so incredibly heard, and it's very fulfilling. And somehow I don't know how I'm on this tangent right now. You're always in a constant process of finding things that tick off those needs. I guess what I'm trying to say is that we always find different outlets to fulfill different levels of different needs. And I feel like in my particular case, my outlet for finally feeling heard and finally feeling like I have a voice in just any freaking area of my life is definitely my YouTube. Anyways, I don't know how this Hi It's Wednesday update turned into something so deep. Nonetheless, today is an upper training day. I've just been sitting here working all morning. I have another event for the wedding this evening. I've got to get everything done I need to get done for my day by mid to late afternoon, and that would include training. I'm going to continue on with my day, but as I said, we're going to do a full day of eats and foods tomorrow. So I hope you all have a fantastic Wednesday. Happy freaking hump day. See you guys tomorrow. Good morning, my friends. It has been so long since we've done a video where it's more than just one day. That being said, this is definitely giving me all the prep vibe. Nonetheless, in this video, I promised you two things. First thing was that we're going to talk about the state of my menstrual cycle. The second thing is today is a full day of eating. I've been super in the vibes of training early as of late, so we are going to do another morning training session today, which means that our first meal for the day is going to be our pre-meal. That is going to be cream of rice, chicken, peanut butter, and banana. Let's waste no time. I'll make a coffee, drink it while I whip this together, and we'll sit down to eat. With cream of rice, you can kind of imagine it like oats, where if you add too much water, you can continue to microwave it. Or if you don't add enough water, you can add water later in the process. This meal in totality is cookie butter, cream of rice, chicken, banana, peanut butter. This is going to be my highest carb meal of the day. Probably one of my favorites. I would say this meal, my breakfast meal, and so you know what? I kind of like all my meals right now. So I'm trying to refrain from saying this is my favorite meal, because I think that I would probably say that about all of my meals except for one that I know is not my favorite meal. I'll probably eat about 75% of this, and then I'll take the other 25% with me for the beginning of my drive. Okay, we're just getting ready to head on off to the gym now. I'm going to throw together my pre-workout nice and quick. You know me, you know that when it comes to my pre and my intra, I love ice. So I've already filled my shaker with ice. Today we're going to do a full scoop of Pre-HD Black in lychee. If you're a viewer of the channel, then you would know that I also keep one of these in my car. I have a lychee in my house and a lychee in my car. And because it's glute day as well, we're also going to throw in a little bit of non-stim Pre-HD variant 002. This one is a little bit more expensive, and that is because it is completely loaded. This thing has literal creatine in it. I would say if you're a fan of the peach EAAs, then you would definitely be a fan of the variant non-stim peach pre-workout. If I have any fellow Canadian friends, this tastes exactly like the Tim Hortons peach juice from childhood. So I'll pack that with me to go. And the other thing that I have is going to be my intra, which is half a serving of Carb HD and a full serving of intra in watermelon. I've always been more of a stan of the raspberry lemonade, but I picked up the watermelon just for fun. This one I would say tastes very candy watermelon. It doesn't give natural watermelon. It definitely gives watermelon candy watermelon. You know what I mean. I did also already my vitamins. It's a pretty standard stack right now. Nothing to quite report home about. But with that being said, I'm gonna go train some glutes and we'll follow up for our next meal. Hello, we are post our Throw Up Thursday glutes training session. Definitely a good one. The pump was magnifique. I don't know if I mentioned I did have a check-in this morning and my weight average was lower than it was last week. Haven't heard back from our coach quite yet. I guess we'll also get an update for just what's going on next week. If I don't update you, that means we're just rinsing and repeating the same thing. Now, we do have our post-workout meal, but I'm gonna wait until 10 or 15 minutes into my drive just because I can still feel my CNS kind of throbbing and I want to let my blood pressure come down a little bit so I don't just over spike insulin. Let my body get a little bit rested before I try to eat so I can better absorb the food that I'm gonna eat. Our next meal is another one of my favorites. Hope you do. Chocolate cake elevate cream of rice with birthday cake pro HD. It looks like this. The birthday cake ISO I just turned into a sludge and then I popped it in the freezer for a little bit. You're seeing is 2 cubes of frozen birthday cake weight isolate. With those things being said, we've got to head home. Got a bunch of client check-ins to get done for the day and I should probably get cracking on those. We're gonna round up next for my next meal, which is typically my breakfast, but we'll be eating it as meal 3. Okay, exactly how I expected. I got home and I got pretty busy with work. Time has sufficiently flown and it is now time for our next meal. You're in the pantry today instead of the fridge because I did run out of Melinda's sauce and I decided that Melinda and I are going to take a break. If you don't know, Melinda's is this truffle flavor hot sauce. At least a year now I've been putting that religiously on my eggs, but as I said, Melinda and I are taking a break. It's not personal, we're just taking a break. So instead I've been seasoning my eggs and for that I've been using the pizza seasoning by Trader Joe's. So I should show you the next meal. 2 whole eggs, 50 grams of egg whites, 80 grams of spinach, and for the first time today we are not having cream of rice as our carb source for this meal. Instead I have 40 grams of oats blended up with 50 grams of egg whites, a little bit of cinnamon, some stevia, and a little of baking powder. Sometimes y'all, when I'm working, I get so caught up and on days like today, that is where the clock comes in handy. Now time for me to go and put together another meal. Also, I am opening spots for online coaching. I'm taking both lifestyle and competitive clients. If you are looking to compete, I'm taking clients for the 2025 season. And if you're lifestyle, taking you on at any time. If you've been interested in getting on track with your nutrition, if you're looking for some guidance in relation to your goals, you want to lose weight, build muscle, whatever the jazz is, I'm your girl. Either shoot me a message on Instagram and I'll help get you started, or if you'd like, there's always a link in the description below. You can leave me an application and I'll reach out to book you a free consult. Also, please in your application let me know that you came from YouTube. Appreciate that so much. Now let's go take a look at our next meal. Hey, what's your next meal?
Oh, it looks like peas, rice, and steak.
Yeah, and then what's that?
A little bit of dessert. That's toast with honey.
Enjoy.
Thank you.
What do I have?
I've got some potatoes and beast.
You think that's potatoes?
I think it's potatoes. Is it not?
Do you want to smell it?
Ooh,
What is
it's
it?
not potatoes.
Do you think it is?
Elevate.
Yeah. Okay, so we're doing cream of rice for another meal. I just really like it, y'all. We've got a side of ground beef, also some green beans. We're kind of eating the same meal, Dad. Like you have rice and steak and peas, and I have cream of rice, beef, and green beans. Cool. What's up, y'all? Good evening. Just kidding. One of my girlies is on prep. I'm gonna get back to her and then we're gonna do our period talk. I'm gonna flip you around so you can say hi to YouTube.
Hi YouTube, hi vlog.
Mackenzie is doing a last minute video call check-in, so. Okay, my apologies. For real now, we're gonna chat. Friday morning, girl woke up and she was greeted by her very lovely bestie, Mrs. Mother Nature. And let me tell you, I was so incredibly shocked. For any reference, it has been just over 2.5 years since I have had a menstrual cycle. So you can imagine my surprise when I woke up to literal Shark Week after absolutely nothing for 2.5 years. Because it had been so long, I also didn't own anything to deal with and or manage it, so that was a fun experience for me as well. Anyways, there's not really even that much specifically to say aside from just kind of telling you guys how I feel about it and some things I think helped bring it back for me. I know that this is something a lot of girls lose when they're doing bodybuilding. For any reference, I actually lost my period just before I started bodybuilding. But with that being said, the fact that I do bodybuild does not help the fact that I had lost my period. It was not the first responding driving force to me losing my period. period. When I first saw it, I was extremely shocked, felt extremely happy, but then I also got brushed with a wave of emotions where I felt very fearful and very scared. I don't know what this means for the future of my cycle. I don't know how often she's gonna show up. I can tell you, it's just the fact that it happened at all is such a good sign. I had 2 solid days where it was like, yes, this is my menstrual cycle, and after that it just dwindled out. And some of the things that I think contributed to me getting it back are definitely going to be a mixture of diet and mental health. My training is the same. My training is intense. Cardio is the same. The biggest difference now versus in the last 2 years, eating higher fats for the past year. With that being said, I know that higher fat diets help in these particular cases. And I do genuinely feel that because my coach has me eating fats consistently all the time, even at the end of prep, definitely helped me really feel like my hormones had begun to regulate. And then mental health, I think that getting a grasp on my mental health and turning off my internal constant wiring of fight or flight, also a really big contributor. I think sometimes we overlook or neglect to believe how much our mental and our physical are interconnected. They are one. The mind, body, and the soul, they all function together. Up until about a year and a half ago, I lived in a constant state of just stressed out, anxious, overwhelmed. I had busy brain, I had a loud brain. Thoughts just absolutely consumed my entire being. That's definitely not the case anymore. I really do believe that me coming to terms with my piece significantly had an impact on me getting my menstrual cycle back. I guess we are now on this journey together. Maybe she won't come back, maybe she will come back. Either way, after 2.5 years, 2 days of bleeding is a ginormous win. For the first time in 2.5 years, I just really feel like a woman again. Ew. Which is such a good feeling. Oh my god. I'm just so grateful to have my health and to be in a position where I can actively be prioritizing my health while doing the thing that I love. There's also a huge part that resonates for me here because I have helped my clients, I have helped other women get their menstrual cycles back, and I see them live through that excitement and that reward, and like I feel that excitement and reward for them when it happens. Now for it to really happen to myself and for me to experience how amazing it feels are just simply no words. Address the elephant in the room, not show you guys my last meal. I totally forgot. I got distracted cooking and prepping. We have chicken, avocado, cucumber, and sweet potato. Did hear back from our coach. There was some updates. He did increase our food. Increase would have been in my last meal. It's another 8 grams of carbs. So instead of making that extra little bit of sweet potato and eating it on its own, I'm gonna add a rice cake into my next meal. So I'll put this away, I'll put that together, and I'll come back to show you how I eat my extravagant yogurt. And here we are, time for our last meal. The main character of this meal is my munchkin spoon. So cute. Everyone always thinks that this is a toothbrush. Lactose-free, fat-free Greek yogurt, and then I mixed in a little bit of the Bloom matcha powder. Make it like a green tea yogurt per se. I don't know, guys, when you eat the same things every day, you get a little bit creative. Then on top, strawberries, and then I mixed 5 grams of birthday cake whey with 15 grams of peanut butter and the piece de resistance, 1 rice cake. I'm gonna eat this meal and then I'm going to get myself ready for bed. With all of that being said, thank you so much for watching this video. As always, I can't believe you watched this video. Make sure to like, leave me a comment down below, and subscribe to the channel. If you're a real one, let's keep it running. Comment a shark emoji down below. And if you know, you know. We are now the literal shark squad. Anyways, I love you, and I will talk to you guys very soon. Goodbye.